Hi, it's Anne here, and today's video is my 5th update for my project pan for 2022. I am doing this in the Team Project Pan style, so I have a full range of products, like full face of product. I think we're all done with anything that's outside of makeup. I think we're pretty much strictly makeup now. So yeah, let's get into the product. We're starting off with a win. So the first product is not the Urban Decay All-Nighter. This is a Bath & Body Works. I can't remember the full name of this. It's the Cocoa Shea Cucumber Refreshing Spray, I think. Cucumber Really Refreshing All Over Mist. So you can kind of hear a little bit, but it's done. Like it's splurting. If I spray it, it's like, yeah, see there's, oh. So I'm calling it. It is done. I am really happy to be able to say that I finished that. I'm rolling it out. I was just sort of using it as a sort of a priming water, even though I'm using a primer as well. It was sort of like the in-between step. You know, I've done my skincare, which I normally do early on, and then when I get starting my makeup, I'll start with this product. So I actually it was kind of a nice way to sort of freshen up my skin, especially throughout the winter when my skin feels drier. Anyway, it's finished, and I'm happy that it's finished. It doesn't exist anymore, so I wouldn't repurchase it anyway. Or I wouldn't repurchase it anyway, even if it did exist. So last month this was 65.99 grams. It's ending at, oh yeah, okay, that's right. It's like, I keep forgetting that this product changes a lot. It's ending at 37.49 grams. So that's a difference of 28.5 grams. In total, I used 109.2 grams of product. So rolling this out, I am going to be rolling in a proper setting spray, but I'll talk about the products that I'm rolling in at the end. Next up is the primer that I'm using. This is the Touch in Sol No Problem Primer. I feel like it's going down. Actually, I should draw a new line on the side, but you can definitely see, I think, that this is below. I mean, it's kind of stuck on the sides and it's not even, but it's definitely below where it was, and the weight has definitely shown that there's a difference. I've used a fair amount of product. Well, I should say like typical for me. So last month this was 97 grams when I introduced it. It's now 91.71 grams. So that's a difference of 5.29 grams. And for me, for like primer and foundation, between 4 and 5 grams is generally what I use per month. We're starting off really good. This is another empty. I have the CoverGirl Vital Elixir Foundation in 605 Ivory. Again, I talked about this in my buys and buys. I am shocked that this is finished. I even like went in with like my little spatula thing that I have and like scraped this out as best as I could. So yeah, pretty much there could be maybe one more use if I really tried, but like it was to the point where I was really not even getting anything out of it when I was even using the spatula. So I'm proud of myself that I actually finished this. I'm also super sad, as I previously mentioned. I really like this foundation. And I'm so sad that it's gone, because I would repurchase this. This would go into my, like, I feel like I have like a mental list. It's not a real list, but I have a mental list of like drugstore foundations that I would easily repurchase. And this would have been there. This would have been on the list, but it doesn't exist anymore. So kind of sad about that. Anyway, last month this was 113.24 grams. It's finishing at 109.34 grams. So that's a difference of 3.9 grams. In total, I used 27.78 grams of this product. So I will be rolling in new foundation at the end. Again, I'll mention at the end of all the products. The concealer that I'm working on is the CoverGirl, sorry, nope, that's not, that was the last item, Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles. This is in the shade Light. I'm moving along on this. I was kind of like slowing down on using this, but this past month I just went ahead and was using it fairly normally. I use this in a couple of ways. So I don't just use this under eyes. I use this before I do my eye makeup. So I use this sort of as like a sort of cancel out my eyelids. I have like, you know, veins and pinkness in my eyelids, and I just like to put on a bit of concealer to really like give me a blank slate to work with. So that's what I start off my eyeshadow with, is this product. Last month this was 22.48 grams. It's now 21.81 grams, so that's a difference of 0.67 grams. The next is the first of 2 items that I've repressed this past month. So this is the Clinique Almost Powder Makeup in 02 Neutral Fair. Again, yes, the packaging looks funny. I think this is the packaging, but this was supposed to be a sample. I didn't actually buy this, somebody gave it to me. Well, I never glued it back into the package, by the way, so it's separate. Anyway, I did repress this, so... And I dropped it. And I lost some product. So we lost some product, but not all. But I mean, it's getting pretty close. So again, like I'll show the picture of what it looked like before I repressed it, the picture of just after repressing, and then the picture what it looks like. I say today, but today as of like 2 minutes ago. Actually, no, it'll be now because I haven't done a picture yet. So it'll be as of now. So I'll show you the picture as of now. I just realized I haven't taken my pictures yet. So, yeah, I feel like, I mean, I was going to say I'm pretty sure I'll finish this in the next month. I'm pretty sure now, now that I've lost. I mean, yeah. Good thing I need to clean the floors today anyway. So, yeah, it spilled all over the floor. Anyway, so, yeah. I would repurchase this though. This is a product I really like. It's a powder I really like. I would definitely purchase this once this one is done. This is the second one that I've had, and yeah, for sure I will look at picking this up when I'm done this. So this was 45.23 grams. It's now 43.62 grams. Actually, it's probably even less than that now because I did weigh it before filming. So that's a difference of 1.61 grams. The bronzer that I'm working on is this Nude Sticks Nudies Matte Bronzer in Sunkissed. It's going slow. It's kind of too dark for me right now, and it's very red based, and it just doesn't work well with like, this is my regular skin tone. I don't have any self-tanner on. I think it'll pick up a little bit more once I have a bit more self-tanner / tan. I do have like my little marks in my book, so I'll put the picture up so you can see, because if I do this, like you can't really see anything. So I'll put a little picture of, it's moved a little bit. I felt like I could actually draw a line for the first time. But yeah, it's going real slow, even from the weights. I mean, it's moving, but it's pretty slow. So last month this was 30 grams. It's now 29.71 grams. So that's a difference of 0.29 grams. Next up is my blush. So I did repress this a couple of months ago. This is the Annabelle Blush Duo in Doll Face. It's no longer a duo. I mixed the 2 colors together. This is going slowly. Here, I feel like it's like deja vu all over again. So I repressed this. I weighed it. I had a huge jump, so I think my numbers are off. I don't know, I had a huge jump between March and April, which seemed really wrong after I repressed it. Like, I repressed it in March, so that was like the beginning repress weight. I have had like no weight change, even though I feel like I've used it quite a bit this month. So I don't know what that means in terms of finishing this. We're just going to keep an eye on it, I guess. I don't know. So last month this was 58.66 grams. It's now 58.65 grams. So that's a difference of 0.01. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But we're still using it. Oh, me and blushes. I think I just need to like accept finishing a blush is like not a thing for me. Next up is my highlighter. So the highlighter I'm working on is the Milk Makeup Highlighter in Lit. This is just a mini. This is moving along. Again, I'll throw up the picture. I couldn't draw a line for a little bit, but I am drawing lines, and I'm looking to be like, I would say just over a third done. Like I'm not halfway done, but I'm definitely not a quarter, but I think it's more than a third. It's hard to tell. I'm definitely about a third the way done, which kind of is good. I didn't realize that I was moving through this because visually looking at it, I don't want to roll it up because I'm terrified of this getting stuck. Visually looking at it, I didn't think I was moving through this very well. But looking at the little lines now, I'm like, oh, okay, we're moving. Again, pretty confident that I can now finish this by the end of the year, which I wasn't so sure before, but I'm pretty sure I can finish this by the end of the year. So this was 18.52 grams. It's now 18.04 grams. So that's a difference of 0.48 grams. The eyebrow product that I'm working on is the ABH Dip Brow Pomade in Taupe. Again, I'm really moving through this. I think this is going to take a while though. We're at like, there's not a lot left. I mean, there wasn't a lot left when I started this in this project. I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm trying not to say like, oh, I'll finish this next month or the next month, because I really have no expectations as to when I will finish this. I feel like it's moving at a good pace, but I don't want to like jinx myself and like, or get disappointed that like, oh, I'm going to finish this next month when that might not be possible. I can't really gauge visually how much per month I'm using of this product, if that makes sense, because it kind of mushes along the side and it's malleable, so it's a little hard to tell, but it's moving, so I'm happy about that, and I'm glad. Thank you for the recommendations. I don't know if I said that last month, but thank you for the recommendations. So I know there's a lot of other brow pomades out there that I can try out after finishing this guy, even though I do quite like this. So last month this was 44.85 grams. It's now 44.8 grams, so that's a difference of 0.05 grams. Next up is the eyeliner I'm working on, and it's the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon in Blacker. And this is moving along. Again, I'll put up the little photo of the lines in my book. I apologize if it looks disgusting too, but I mean, it's makeup. I use this book when I'm using makeup, so there's makeup all over this book. But I am flying through this, which I think is awesome, because it's definitely drying out. I can feel it. So I just want to finish this up, which this I think I can finish up next month. I think this will be done next month. I have like 4 or 5, maybe 6 other black eyeliners. So I have a lot of other black eyeliners that I can throw into this project. So last month this was 6.14 grams. It's now 6.1 grams. So that's a difference of 0.04 grams. Next up is a single eyeshadow that I'm working on. This is from the Real Her palette, Be Your Own Kind of Beauty palette. I think it was volume 1. And yeah, I repressed this at the same time I repressed the face powder. I've already hit pan on this. Again, I don't know exactly when I'll finish this. I could just focus on this and probably finish this in like a month. I don't know. I'm contemplating doing that over the summer, maybe just focusing on this little guy and getting it done. But I enjoy using this. It works really well when I come across a palette that doesn't have something bright enough, and I can use this on like the inner corner or the brow bone, or just even on the lid, mixing it with another shade. I've also thrown it on as a highlighter. It works well that way too. It's going, I mean, it could go a little bit faster if I focused on it, but I'm kind of plodding away at it. And again, I'm confident that I'm going to finish this. It just depends on if I focus on it and finish it sooner, or just take my time with it and, finish it eventually. I haven't really decided yet. So last month this was 1.41 grams. It's now 1.2 grams. So that's a difference of 0.21 grams. Next up is the lip liner that I'm working on. I know it's super confusing that I put a lip liner in this project, even though I have my lip project pan. Maybe next year I'll put a lip liner in my lip project pan instead of this. Or maybe I won't do a lip project pan. I don't know. Anyway, we're not even like halfway through the year. Why am I talking about next year? Anyway, this is, I think I said it's the Annabelle lip liner in Spice. Again, I'll throw up the picture of the sort of marks in my book, and you can see like there's definitely movement, but you can also see from a lip liner perspective, there is a lot left. This is not going to be finished by the end of this year. I can just tell by the way, the rate that I use this at and the way that I use it, I'd be hard pressed to finish this by the end of the year. I just don't see it happening, but I'm getting through it. I'm using it. I like my lip project pan because I'm using all of my lip liners right now, which is very satisfying to me that I'm getting through using them, because I tend to stick to like 3 or 4 that I use regularly and just ignore the rest, whereas now I'm actually using all of them. And I found this past month, I really liked the colors that I picked. Well, the one color for sure, like the bright pink. I've really been into using the bright pink lip liner, so I did kind of neglect this guy a little bit, but I still have been using it. I do have a good weight change, and I'm sure the photo, I shouldn't say I'm sure the photo, because I haven't seen the photos yet. I haven't even taken them yet, but hopefully the photo will show a difference as well. So last month this was 2.64 grams. It's now 2.59 grams. So that's a difference of 0.05 grams. Okay, so since I finished up the Bath & Body Works like refreshing mist, I'm going to throw in a setting spray, and I'm throwing in one that's actually pretty new out of all the setting sprays I have, but it's a mini and I just want it out. It's the Bella Pierre Cosmetics HD setting spray. It's this little guy, but what I am going to do is I'm going to depot this into this, because the sprayer on this is like a freaking fire hose. It is way too intense and way too wet. I don't know if I can show it. Let's see if we can. I don't know if you can see that. It's like, bam! It's way too much. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking of depotting it. We'll see how it goes. But I have a starting weight on it right now. It's 37.26 grams, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to depot it because the mister on this is much better than the mister on this. And then I finished up the foundation, the CoverGirl foundation, so I need to introduce a new foundation. I'm going against one of my own rules, and I'm putting in 2 foundations. I normally don't do this because it's competing. I did do this in the past, and I learned it was difficult. There is a bit of a method to the madness. So the first one that I'm putting in is the L'Oreal 24-Hour Fresh Wear in the shade 435 Rose Vanilla. I do like this foundation. It's what I am wearing today. I do find it looks a little more matte than I would like, but going into summertime, that should be okay. I have put a line where I think this is at. I think it's halfway based on what I can tell from like where it's settling. And yeah, so I am planning on working on finishing this one. This is one of my oldest. I went through my foundation list, and I have one foundation from 2018, but I'm not putting it in a project just yet. It's very pink based. It's the Makeup Forever HD foundation, and it actually the shade doesn't exist anymore, and it's like a mini. So one of the reasons why I don't want to put it in the project, because it is a mini, so I should be able to finish up fairly quickly, but I have a ton of full-size ones that I want to start working on and getting through. So I'll throw that mini in when I, want to get one out quickly, if that makes sense. It's also very pink-based, which I think will work well. Instead of just focusing on that particular foundation, I think I'll start using it as sort of a mixing foundation with some of the ones that are a little too yellow. I know for sure the one L'Oreal one that I have is a little too yellow for me, so I'll use it as more of a mixing one. So yeah, I only have one from 2018. Then I have like a bunch from 2019. Then there's only one from 2020, and then I have a bunch from 2021. So I want to work through the 2019 ones, and this is one of those. I am going to focus on finishing this one. This is like the primary one that I am working on. And then the second one that I want to work on, because I feel like I haven't really used this one very much, is this Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. Again, I think this is the old version. I think it's in the shade Sand. This one is a little too dark for me, especially right now, but it'll be fine in the summertime with a bit of self-tanner, a bit of tan. It works out really, really nicely. I just feel like out of all of the tinted moisturizers, number one, I think this is the oldest one I have. It's definitely from 2019. And I feel like it's the one that I use the least, or I've used the least since I've had it. So I want to get some use out of this. I also feel like too, this one is very visually unappealing and not exciting, but I want to make sure I don't forget about it. So putting it in the project will force me to remember to use it. But this one's definitely more exciting to use because it's visually, and this one will be easier to use, I feel like. But yeah, I know I like this, like it's fine. It's just one of the reasons why I don't use it a whole lot is the shade isn't great for me full year, like all year round. I don't plan on finishing this. I see myself rolling this out in like September, but I want to focus on it for like June, July, August, and get some use out of it before I put it back in the drawer, if that makes sense. So I am going against my own rules and putting 2. It means this one will slow down a little bit. It won't get a lot of use. But once I roll this one out, this one will start getting more use. So things are really moving well for me this year. I feel like I'm starting to get a rhythm with my project pan. I feel like I am starting to understand a little bit better on how I use things. And I think a big part of it is expectations. Again, knowing how I use things and having better expectations. So I'm not disappointed when I think, like I see other people going through like a powder in 3 months and I get, why can't I go through a powder in 3 months? I just don't. I don't go through a powder in 3 months. It's fine. Not regularly anyway. So yeah, having better expectations and seeing, again, I've talked about this, having the photos versus the numbers, seeing a little bit of progress helps keep me motivated to continue using the products. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how my project pan is going for myself this year. I'm wondering how it's going for you. What kind of style of project pan are you doing? Is there any particular products you're focusing on? I'm really curious to know, do you have any trouble products? Like, obviously for me, blush. Blush is the trouble product. I'm so curious to know if there's something for you that's like really, really hard to pan, or you're just frustrated with, or yeah, you don't like panning. I'm so curious. I want to know. I'm not the only one that has like troublesome products. Anyway, that is my 5th update for my project pan for 2022. I hope you like this video. Ooh, gonna lose my book. If you did, feel free to give a little thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.